Whoa, we're back with some Bleach Soul Resonance, and we've got Square Advisor here, top 1% of posters, giving us a latest and greatest on the BSR official live stream. If there's anything extra in here that we haven't seen, I know I was watching Giku's stream. Some of you saw me in there in the chat. Shout out y'all if you saw me in there. I always appreciate it. And there are a ton of bullet points. It started with a really slow Q&A, but then it just started firing. So I'm really happy with this. I will say that the big takeaway is all my homies hate Shueisha. Shueisha, you are the devil. But responses to player questions. April 24th, new character Szayelaporro will be released. He'll be a spirit type support. His skills have no ailment damage mechanics. Because I don't know if this is going to go into any more detail. Now, yeah, I do see gameplay down here. Let's actually switch to the bit of gameplay here just to keep the thoughts combined. So the game developers responded, or actually we should say, why Szayelaporro? The game developers responded, the copyright holder wants more Espada characters. In the original work, Szayelaporro appears significantly in the Huecamundo arc, as also appears in the Hell arc and in the official novel. The original Espada Zero is Szayelaporro. I mean, I said it before, I like this character. I really do, but I also like Mayuri, and I know it's kind of just like a thing where it's like hype versus unhyped characters. Like some of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, like some of my favorite moments are considered unhyped now. So I get people not being super hyped for like Mayuri, right? I think it's fine for characters not to be hype all the time, but we obviously get that this is not considered like hype. Szayelaporro in the game, SSR spirit type support character. 2 forms, fits well in spirit teams, and has minor universal utility. So from what we heard, because I don't know if they're going to say it in here, they said that Szayelaporro will be a character who rivals Urahara on teams that aren't spirit. On spirit, he's going to be way better than Urahara, and off spirit, he's going to be at least the same amount of character as Urahara, which is crazy to think about. Because, I mean, it's been Urahara Soul Resonance. I've used Rangiku today. I've used Urahara today. I've used Mayuri today. You know what I mean? Like, I have all these characters, and it's not like there are events where you don't need 3 teams. Sometimes for adventure mode and stuff, you need 3 teams. So if Szayelaporro essentially just power creeps all of the SRR supports and Urahara on non-color relevant teams, it's probably pretty good in terms of his power, right? Skill kit has no ailment attribute. He's a direct damage buffer. Gameplay, he'll barely take any field time. When switched to the back, he sends his fraction to assist attacks while charging his ultimate energy. That's really good. It's really powerful. This is essentially what Mayuri is up to, just charging ultimate energy. Also what Yachiru is up to. Highest damage comes from the second stage of his ultimate, which has an extremely high multiplier. His ultimate rotation is very fast. That's really good. A support that does damage, and you only really need him to be B0. I mean, that's going to be an interesting character, I think. When supporting a spirit team, Szayelaporro far surpasses Kisuke Urahara. So there it is right there. Regarding dupes, B0 already provides a complete experience. At B6, he himself can also do very high damage. That's really cool for whales, because if you're a big Szayelaporro fan, then you essentially have a character who is a support, quote unquote, and also a DPS. That's fun. That's fun. It's like how tactics characters are. At B6, tactic characters, or at B6 and B4, tactics characters typically are sort of DPSs in and of themselves. Let's go back up now. So, clarify the concern about Soifon and Nelel having similar gameplay. Official response: in the future, the fully built strike team will play very differently from the thrust team. The strike team will be more difficult to operate, but have higher damage ceiling. This is exactly what I expected. Let me open the game. I don't have the game open, but I want the game opened. So right now we're in a position where like the Soifon led thrust team or strike team, and then the Nelel led, thrust team. Sort of have that similar-ish gameplay where there's sort of like a main body character switching in and out, right? And then sort of taking priority. I think that personally, I know that people are complaining about this, I guess. Maybe it's Chinese player base. I don't think the thrust team and the strike team play similarly at all. The strike team is very mobile. There are these floating cooldowns you need to be very aware of. There's the perfect dodge cooldown, which internally lines up with Yoruichi's ultimate. There's, Soifon's on-field presence is very sparse, but it is very important to fit in the windows of her actual like abilities and getting her counters off all the time, so that you're maximizing Yoruichi. I don't think they play similarly at all, but that's just me. We can go back here, but yeah, I don't see this. But I am excited for more high ceiling teams. I think the strike team is currently pretty high ceiling, with having to keep around all these floating modifiers. Not in training mode, where you don't have anything pushing up against you, but when you are in a fight and you are trying to get out Urahara's double attack so that you can get his ultimate, so that you can start your rotations, so that you can get the perfect dodge, etc., etc. I do think that there is a tighter amount of mechanical skill needed for that team, but we'll see. Szayelaporro version will be introduce some new player interactivity to reduce content drought. Okay, that's pretty cool. They said there's going to be a lot of stuff. They said a lot of stuff is coming, so rewards for the Szayelaporro version will be increased. The official team promises they will not repeat the issue from the Soy Form version. Many bosses, but low rewards. That's good. I didn't feel like the rewards were super low overall, but they weren't focused on bosses, I think. Because 8,000 Jade isn't nothing. That's pretty standard, I feel like, at this point. But it is, you know, worth mentioning that it wasn't relegated to bosses. It was relegated to, like, daily stuff. Regarding the game's low periods, the choice of which characters to release depends on the copyright holder. Therefore, when less popular characters are released, they will strive to introduce interesting gameplay to compensate. Fuck Shueisha. I had to wait to get past the first minute so that I didn't get, like, struck by YouTube for cursing the first minute. Fuck Shueisha. Holy shit, fuck Shueisha. Terrible, terrible company. And you might be wondering, why am I going so hard on Shueisha? Because I'm a Dragon Ball fan, and Shueisha fucks Dragon Ball all the fucking time. Terrible company, dude. I'm glad Bleach Soul Resonance's dev team is keeping a very, like, fighting spirit understanding about this, but I joked in the stream with Giku, and he read it and laughed at it. Like, if you think that, like, the savior for Bleach games is going to be Mirror High is going to be a Japanese dev team. There are not many Japanese mobile games that are super free-to-play friendly, so if you're a free-to-play player, even a low-spending player, you're gonna, I'll just put it out there, it's probably not going to be nearly as free-to-play friendly as a game like Bleach Soul Resonance. So when they try to put their thumb on Bleach Soul Resonance's neck, when the dev team is trying this hard, it's really annoying, because I know that when I play Bleach or Mirror's High in 4 or 5 months or whenever it decides to come out, I just have this droning feeling that it's gonna feel like playing Dokkan, and you gotta skip like 8 characters in a row just to get one character. So we'll see. After the half anniversary, highly popular characters will arrive. This is what I put in the thumbnail. By the way, the thumbnail isn't clickbait. They did refer to TYBW, so if you've made it this far, I'm not yapping. The official team admits they are encountering technical difficulties in developing 120 FPS. I haven't had that problem, but I play on emulator. Rewards for weekly dungeons will be increased, as well as the number of stamp stars. Really? I feel like the weekly dungeons already give enough rewards, but maybe that's me. Possibly a 6-star stamp reroll and refund function in the future. That's very good. That's very good. There's currently no way to sort of cash in on just having a bunch of, I actually should go to Geen for this, just having a bunch of level 30s lying around, which I do, right? It would be really nice to get something like that. So, future team lobbies will be divided into forced manual control rooms and autoplay rooms. Cool. The cap for adventure rank may be increased in the future. Surplus mission dispatch resources can be exchanged for other rewards. Whatever. A Soifon skin Shunko will be available soon, obtainable for free through in-game missions. Giku said the same thing, but it's crazy that they keep giving these out for free. I'm not like a, oh my god, I need skins immediately for my characters person, but like, I wish this was paid so this game can make money. Because I said it before, this game is really friendly. It's crazy for I mean, the Pokemon Champions thing just came out, and that game is a nightmare. And we've got Bleach over here just like throwing characters at you. IP gacha are not friendly to you. New characters will be added to the standard pool in the future. I sort of expected this, right? I said literal like 3 months ago, don't spend your standard tickets if you think they will update the standard pool. I did. I'm someone who makes content. It's good for me to spend it so I can use those standard tickets to build standard units and showcase them like Yoruichi and such. But let me just say, I said months ago, they will update the standard pool because the standard pool does not have value if they never do. There is no value to it. It doesn't actually, like, if it doesn't move, it just doesn't make any sense. So I said this before, and they said themselves, we don't know if it's going to happen. And I said, guess what? I'm going to use my standard tickets now, but they will update this banner at some point. This is so obvious. The official team confirmed that a 1,000-year Bloodwork version is coming, of course. Starting from future versions, the number of stamp stars obtainable per version will be balanced and consistent. This is very good. Stamp stars are a thing I'm sort of running low on. We did get quite a few during the Nelel celebration, I think, but not so much since. We read this part. This is all about Szayelaporro. Yeah, when supporting your team with power passes. The Szayelaporro version will feature a human... Oh, a new spirit DPS is coming, by the way. This is probably Harribel, by the way. If you're wondering, if you're like, who should I do? What should I do? Here's my thing. They'll probably rerun Toshido during the half Annie. Szayelaporro is going to be a character able to do damage. At least not main DPS, but alongside him, he and Aizen should be able to clear most spirit-related content. If you're someone like me and you missed out on Toshido's weapon, or you missed out on his boundaries or something like that, I'm not going to say that Toshido has no value. That's not true at all. Toshido undoubtedly, especially if you're a Toshido fan, has a lot of value. He got buffed. He's really good now. But if you're someone like, oh, maybe, you know, I'm free to play. Should I put in, like, should I try to grab some dupes or something? Should I do this or that? I would really hold off on that, because the characters that are going to go into standard faster than any other characters in any of these other characters in the game are Toshido and Bankai Ichigo. So I would maybe hold off on that. Okay, that's just for now. Just hold off on pulling the trigger on any sort of Toshido pulls. The only thing I would maybe want to do is grab his weapon myself. Szayelaporro version will feature a human form Grimmjow via the mail. In-game events will also give away his dupes, weapons, and stamps. That's great. That's just like Rangiku. I thought people being really confused about this. They were like, well, if he's going to be free and he's SR, so he's not going to be worth it. This character is insanely good. This character is still extremely good. Like, we don't really need characters. And we don't know if he'll be great or anything, but if he is the strike version of Rangiku, that team is going to feel really good, because guess what? Yoruichi, Shion, and Soifon both just use Urahara right now, right? And you might be like, well, okay, well, then I'll just use Szayelaporro. And it's like, well, you don't want to do that, because Szayelaporro is going to go on this team. And it's like, well, then I'll just use, you know, I'll just keep going down the list until I'm right. And it's like, you can go down the list until you're right. But guess what? More strong versions of characters like Rangiku, especially for teams that need it, means that you're going to have more options to skip. That's the thing nobody talks about. Nobody talks about the fact that adding more free-to-play strong characters means you're more incentivized to skip when you don't actually want a character. If you have a strike version of Rangiku and you don't want, I don't know, SSR... let's say an SSR Nemu. Let's say randomly Nemu shows up. Maybe you're just not hype on Nemu. You're like, I'm tired of this bastard Mayuri. Well, guess what? Having that SR Grimmjow that you really like because he's a character you really like, that means you don't have to pull. 3-player co-op is coming, or a major new PvE co-op dungeon, the Secret Realm Frontline. 3-player co-op, 3 roles with different skills. Each player must choose a role and use their role skills to weaken the boss. Each player individually challenges a high difficulty random dungeon, demands high skill and investment. A single player's death results in a heavy penalty for the whole team. High difficulty also brings generous rewards. Players can join teams to help others who are struggling. World boss gameplay will be added. All players on the server fight simultaneously and earn rewards. New story content is still under review by copyright holder Shueisha. Their requirements are extremely strict, so continuous revisions are needed. A cumulative paid VIP privilege system is not being considered for now. That's great. It's great to see. I mean, I would like for them to do anything they want for Wales, but it is what it is. Half anniversary celebration version early surprise leaks. A brand new server-wide competitive event will be launched. A PVEVP mode, essentially competitive through PvE points and integral. This is great. It's not so much PvP that you have to worry about, like, oh, I'm going with another player. Are they lagging? Are they just a whale? Are they this or that? But it is something that will, you know, funnel people into having that like dopamine hit of like, yeah, look how good I did. I think that's great. I think that's a good thing. This is a great sort of complementary piece to the PvE game that this already is, while not compromising. Like, people who want PvP in right now aren't thinking about what it takes for that to happen. They would need to retool and rebalance the entire game. And let's be honest, they're already making these characters so cool. They're already putting out events all the time. They need more time. You know, that's an anniversary, second anniversary type of thing. That's not a half anything. The boss for the intense fight mode will be updated. I think this is his full battle or full release battle or whatever, which is cool. After the semi-anniversary, Kenpachi Zaraki will receive his redemption, buffs, improvements. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. That's great for me. I love Zaraki Kenpachi. It has been confirmed that Grimmjow's version and the multiple versions following it will all feature highly popular characters. So again, if you are waiting for hype and you really don't like Szayelaporro, skip him. Just skip him, right? Just skip him. Alright? Just walk away, grab Grimmjow when he comes, and then, right after that, Shunsui, Coyote Stark. You know what I'm saying? Okiyara comes out. Yamamoto, Urahara, Harribel. You know what I mean? So, great roundup. Great roundup. I don't want to keep this video too long. Extremely happy with the live stream in general. I think they did a great job. The only problem really was that they started with a Q&A, and they really did not need to start with that fucking Q&A. They should have led with the information and then done the Q&A. There was no reason for them not to do it that way. But yeah, oh, you saw my Jade there, 14.5. It's patch day, you know, it's the 7 days left. So yeah, it was, or not patch day, but like content day. So yeah, 7 days left of this one, and then we go into Szayelaporro. Szayelaporro's content looks fucking bonkers. It looks insane. That's gonna do it for me though. I've been Lone. Like if you like the video, subscribe, join the club. We'll go make it, and peace.